One of the common questions I get is, should I be a podcast guest or a podcast host? Well, I often answer a question with a question, and I'll ask them back. Well, should you be an Uber driver or an Uber passenger? Before I tell you what that means, I want to introduce you to a great podcaster.
Hey, this is Jordan Harbinger of The Jordan Harbinger Show, and you're listening to Podcast Guest Profits, hosted by Tom Schwab and sponsored by Interview Valet.
Hey, Jordan is a great podcast host. He is a great Michigander. He grew up on the East Side, went to University of Michigan, and check out his podcast. Now, should Jordan be an Uber driver or an Uber passenger? Well, really, it's the same platform. It really depends on your goals. And I would say the same thing about being a podcast host. Should you be a podcast host or should you be a podcast guest? Well, it's the same platform, but you can use it different ways. And let me explain what that means. So with Uber, if you want to make some extra money, if you've got extra time, well, then be the driver. If you need to get from point A to point B, you don't want a cab, you don't have a car, then be a passenger. Really, it's different goals, but the same platform. So how does that apply to podcasts? Well, if you're a podcast host, it's a great way to nurture current leads, current customers, to build that relationship with the people that already know you. But if you're looking to gain new leads, get new exposure, build your brand with people that don't know it, well, talking to the same people isn't going to do that, right? Preaching to the choir, as they would say, is not going to do that. You need to go out and be a guest on other people's shows. So if you're looking for backlinks to increase your SEO, you're only going to get those from being a guest, not a host. If you're looking to get out into new social media and get promoted by different people, well, you do that as being a guest. If you want to tap into a different audience, to tap into that influencer, to leverage other people's platforms, well, that's when you are a guest. So to me, it's not an either or, it's a both. So really, before you decide, should I be a guest, should I be a host, or should I be both? Look at what your goals are. If your goals are to build your brand, build your business, build new leads, get more social media following, get content to repurpose, well, that's a great way to go out and be a guest. So I hope that answers that question. Definitely, I've been on 1,200 podcast interviews. I have yet to launch the old podcast, partly because it's a lot of hard work. Anybody that says it's easy has either never done it or never done it well. To me, it's just easier to be a podcast guest than a host, and maybe I just see more return on investment, and that is time invested versus what you get out of it. But really look at what your goals are. And either way, I hope you'll share what you know with the world as a podcast guest, as a podcast host, or as both. What's ordinary to you is amazing to others, and it could change the world. Has obscurity become your biggest problem? Stages have disappeared. Conferences are canceled. In-person meetings seem like a distant memory. Your prospective customers still need you. They still need to hear from you. Stop trying to break through the noise. It's not working. Get in on the conversation. Get featured as the expert guest on targeted podcast interviews. Podcasts are hot. Listenership is up 20% in 2020. Podcasts are the new digital stage. Leverage other people's established platform as a featured guest. Since 2015, Interview Valet has helped over 500 leading brands get featured on over 20,000 podcast episodes. You're the guest. We take care of the rest. Stop being the best kept secret. Find out how we can help you leverage targeted podcast interviews to get heard, to grow your brand, to grow your sales, to be recognized as the market leader.